McLaren is best known for its sultry supercars and its championship efforts in Formula One. The various supercars it builds are wonderful machines, but ever so often they push a bit more strongly to blend the road and motorsports efforts into something special, an ultimate series car. What started with the iconic F1 eventually developed into the mighty P1. Well, now there's a new one. It's called the W1, and the numbers on this one are pretty amazing. The W1 positions itself as the newest peak of McLaren Mountain. It serves as a successor to the F1 and the P1 and beats up on the Senna and Speedtail for good measure. Normally I'd first talk about the styling inside and out, but let's jump straight to the powertrain on this one. McLaren has developed a brand new 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 for the W1, and it's a screamer. The Automaker employs a flat plane crank setup which allows the MHP8 engine to run to 9,200 RPM while producing 916 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque. Here's the fun part, there's more because this one is a hybrid. A radial flux electric motor and 1.4 kilowatt hour battery pack feed in an additional 342 horsepower and 324 pound-feet of torque. Total system output is rated at 1,258 horsepower and 988 pound-feet of torque. All the oomph is sent rearward via an 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox and then down to the ground through a set of 335 section-width Pirelli P0 tires. Performance? Yeah, there's plenty of it here. McLaren says the run from 0 to 60 happens in just 2.7 seconds. Want to go 0 to 124 miles per hour? That takes just 5.8 seconds. Would you prefer a run from 0 to 186 miles per hour? You'll only need 12.7 seconds to get there. And if you have the space to test it out, the top speed is electronically limited to 217 miles an hour. As you'd expect, there's carbon fiber everywhere. Really, every McLaren road car makes extensive use of carbon fiber, but here on the W1, it's all taken to 11. The aerocell structure is crafted via a procedure reserved for low-run motorsport applications, and the actual carbon fiber is infused with resin before being fully formed, which both helps simplify the curing process but also makes the aerocell stronger. The resulting structure is the lightest McLaren monocoque ever. Because of the unique design of this aerocell, however, there were some engineering challenges. The front sits higher compared to other McLarens, so the front lower suspension mounting points are integrated into the chassis structure. There's no separate front subframe. This means the engineers also needed to find somewhere to bolt the steering rack. As for the doors, McLaren opted for gullwing style doors instead of the dihedral door openings we've seen on past coupe models. The chassis works with McLaren's Active Race Control 3 suspension system. Opting between comfort, sport, and race yields drastically different setups to deliver the ideal dynamic experience depending on what you want and where you are. There's actually a level beyond race called Race Plus for even more downforce and suspension stiffness on smooth, fast racing circuits. Speaking of downforce, this thing can make tons of it. The rear wing is active and can drop down and stretch rearward or flip up under heavy braking. Max downforce is rated at 2,205 pounds at 174 miles per hour. The faster you go, the more this thing sticks. When you need to stop, just press the brake pedal to drop the anchors. The front and rear have 15.3-inch rotors. The fronts have a 6-piston setup, while the rear has a 4-piston setup. As a complete package, the W1 is a true hypercar beast of a machine. On McLaren's test facility, it can lap the track 3 full seconds faster than a Senna. 3 seconds in racing might as well be 300. That's a huge jump in performance. Thankfully, it's also better looking than the Senna. That was not a pretty car. This one isn't what I'd call pretty either, but it definitely looks better while still being very much a function over form sort of machine. It looks proper in that it's clearly designed to be very good at going very quickly. That notion continues in the cabin. The seats don't move, but the pedals and steering wheel can be adjusted. McLaren says there's enough space to fit some weekend bags behind the seats, and you can spec a Bowers & Wilkins sound system if you somehow get bored of hearing that MHP8 engine scream towards its sky-high redline. McLaren plans to build just 399 examples of the W1. It starts at $2.1 million, and if you have that scratch lying around and would like to buy one, you're already too late. Each one has already been allocated to its fancy-footed McLaren loving owner. Hopefully some of them will push their W1s to their limits, because those limits are at the upper echelon of what road cars can do. I don't think the W1 will ever be as iconic and legendary as the F1. I do think it's quite a leap forward over the P1, however, and I look forward to seeing just how well it stacks up against some of the other great top-tier machines currently or soon coming to market.